Case 1. Carly Gregg, Brandon, Mississippi. A quiet, suburban neighborhood where school day routines and family life unfold under a calm exterior. On March 19, 2024, that stillness shattered in the Smiley household, a place ordinary on the surface, but hiding deep tensions. Carly Madison Gregg was 14 years old at the time, a high school freshman at Northwest Ranking High, where her mother, Ashley Smiley, taught math. Carly appeared to be a typical teenager, top grades, involvement in activities, but beneath the facade, a troubled interior life. Carly's background was unremarkable externally, middle-class family, school, therapy. But in early 2024, family friends and psychiatrists would later describe her as suffering from depression, self-harm, auditory hallucinations, and substance use, including marijuana and vape pens her mother discovered. She had entered new psychiatric medication days before and reportedly faded into dissociative states. On March 19th, Carly returned home alone around mid-afternoon. Surveillance cameras captured her in the kitchen, walking calmly, hands behind her back, before 3 successive gunshots and a woman's scream echoed through the house. Ashley Smiley lay dead from gunshots to the face, caused by a .357 Magnum registered to the family. Carly returned to the kitchen, retrieved her mother's phone, texted her stepfather Heath to lure him home, and also messaged a friend, asking if they were squeamish around dead bodies before showing them the corpse. When Heath arrived, Carly shot him in the shoulder. He wrestled the gun away and overpowered her. She fled through the backyard but was arrested shortly after nearby. Security footage showed an emotionally detached Carly, texting, letting her dogs in after her mother's death as chaos erupted when her stepfather returned. Heath described the moment of confrontation as a blur. A gun went off in my face. She was screaming out of her mind like she'd seen a demon. His testimony painted a relationship that had been good, with abrupt breakdowns in mental stability shortly before the shooting. Carly was charged as an adult with first-degree murder, attempted murder, and evidence tampering. She rejected a 40-year plea deal and instead pleaded insanity. During the week-long trial in September 2024, jurors saw security video of her behavior before and after the shooting. The defense presented psychiatric testimony, including from Dr. Andrew Clark, who described dissociative episodes, hallucinations, and medication-induced numbness. Carly reportedly had no memory whatsoever of the incident. Prosecutors countered that she was fully aware of her actions, citing her calculated texts, invitation to a friend, and ambush plan for her stepfather. After approximately 4 days of testimony and 2 hours of deliberation, the jury found Carly Gregg guilty on all counts: first-degree murder, attempted murder, and tampering. On September 23, 2024, she was sentenced to life in prison without parole. 2 life sentences expected, one for murder and one for attempted murder. In court, she sobbed upon hearing the verdict. Prosecutors called her evil, while the defense vowed to appeal. Carly Gregg remains incarcerated with no possibility of parole, serving a life sentence in Mississippi's adult system. Her attorneys have since filed motions, first appealing in October 2024, and then in April 2025, requesting new trial documents and representation. In March 2025, her lead counsel changed to attorney James Murphy. The court has denied her request for a new trial, finding the additional evidence insufficient to alter the conviction. The crime was disturbing, not just in its violence, but in the eerie composure before and after. The trial forced a reckoning with mental illness, teen detachment, and legal responsibility. Case 2, Samantha Heath. In the tranquil town of Barnstead, New Hampshire, life progressed slowly. The community was close-knit, with neighbors familiar with one another and children playing happily in the streets. Among its residents were 19-year-old Samantha Heath and her boyfriend, 23-year-old Kyle Buffum. Their relationship, though marked by an age gap, was seemingly ordinary. Samantha, a high school graduate, was known for her friendly demeanor and had recently moved in with Kyle and his family. However, beneath the surface, tensions simmered. Kyle's controlling nature began to surface, and Samantha found herself drawn into a web of manipulation and coercion. On January 26, 2014, Samantha lured her close friend, 18-year-old Andrea Halverson, into Bear Brook State Park under the pretense of spending time together. Once isolated, Samantha attacked Andrea, stabbing her 16 times. The brutal assault was interrupted when a passing car approached, prompting Samantha to flee, leaving Andrea for dead. Miraculously, Andrea survived and was discovered by a passerby who alerted authorities. She was rushed to the hospital, where she underwent extensive treatment for her injuries. Investigators soon uncovered that the attack was not a spontaneous act, but a premeditated plan orchestrated by Kyle Buffum. Forensic analysis of Samantha's cell phone revealed over 70 pages of text messages between the couple detailing their intentions to murder Andrea and another individual named Luther, followed by a spree of robberies and a planned escape to Florida. Kyle had manipulated Samantha into believing that committing these acts would prove her loyalty and love for him. He had also previously been arrested for providing alcohol to minors at a house party, which led to a 30-day jail sentence served over several weekends. During these weekends, Samantha attended parties with her friend Andrea, leading to infidelity that further fueled Kyle's jealousy and desire for revenge. Samantha was arrested and charged with attempted first-degree murder. She agreed to testify against Kyle, revealing the extent of his manipulation and control over her actions. In March 2015, she pled guilty and was sentenced to 20 years in prison, with the possibility of parole after serving 20 years. Kyle Buffum was arrested on February 1, 2014, and charged with conspiracy to commit murder, accomplice to attempted murder, and criminal solicitation. Initially pleading not guilty by reason of insanity, he later changed his plea to guilty and was sentenced to 35 years in prison. The events left the Barnstead community in disbelief. Andrea, though physically scarred, has shown remarkable resilience in her recovery. Samantha's actions, driven by manipulation and coercion, serve as a stark reminder of the dangers of toxic relationships and the importance of recognizing and addressing controlling behaviors. As of 2025, both Samantha and Kyle remain incarcerated, serving their respective sentences. This case highlights the critical need for awareness and intervention in situations where individuals may be under the influence of coercive control. Case 3, Kriesha Stroud. On the evening of April 27, 2024, the Felling area of Gateshead, UK, was tranquil. Residents went about their routines, unaware that a violent act was about to shatter their community's peace. At approximately 9 p.m., Kriesha Stroud, then 15, along with Leandro Lopez and Jordan Tams, both 17, executed a planned attack on Gary Belfield, 40, and his son, Luke Williams, 21. Armed with a knife and a screwdriver, Lopez and Tams entered the Belfield residence, while Stroud waited outside. Inside, Lopez and Tams inflicted multiple stab wounds on both victims. Gary Belfield succumbed to his injuries due to a severed femoral artery, while Luke Williams managed to escape and received medical attention. The attack was reportedly triggered by a disagreement involving a dog, highlighting how a minor conflict can escalate into tragedy when influenced by underlying tensions and poor decision-making. Following the incident, law enforcement quickly apprehended the three individuals. Evidence indicated that Stroud had played a significant role in orchestrating the attack, despite not being physically present during the assault. In January 2025, at Newcastle Crown Court, Stroud, Lopez, and Tams were convicted of murder and attempted murder. The court acknowledged Stroud's age and background, but emphasized the severity of her involvement in the crime. Judge Constable sentenced Stroud to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 19 years and 93 days before parole eligibility. This sentence reflects the court's recognition of her youth, yet underscores the gravity of her actions. As of August 2025, Kriesha Stroud remains incarcerated at a secure facility, serving her sentence. Her case serves as a poignant reminder of how youthful indiscretions can lead to irreversible consequences. Case 4. Nicole Jackson. In the early morning hours of November 26, 2022, East Point, Georgia, a quiet suburban community was rocked by a devastating tragedy. The East Point Fire Department responded to a blaze at an apartment complex where they discovered the lifeless body of a 4-year-old girl. Her twin sister was found alive but severely traumatized. The fire, initially believed to be accidental, was soon revealed to be part of a chilling cover-up. Nicole Ashley Jackson, a 27-year-old mother of twin daughters, was arrested after investigators uncovered the horrifying truth. Authorities determined that Jackson had intentionally killed one of her daughters and then set the apartment on fire in an attempt to conceal the crime. The surviving twin was left alone in the apartment, enduring unimaginable fear and confusion. Jackson's actions not only ended a young life, but also scarred her surviving child for years to come. Following her arrest, Jackson faced multiple charges, including murder, first-degree cruelty to children, and arson. The case drew widespread media attention, highlighting the deaths of maternal betrayal and the impact on the surviving twin. As of February 2025, a trial date had been set, but the legal proceedings were ongoing. The community remained in shock, grappling with the loss and the questions surrounding Jackson's motives. As of August 2025, Nicole Jackson remains incarcerated, awaiting trial in Fulton County, Georgia. The legal system continues to seek justice for the young victim and her surviving twin sister, whose lives were irrevocably altered by their mother's actions. The case serves as a stark reminder of the potential for darkness within even the most familiar faces. The tragedy in East Point underscores the vulnerability of children and the profound impact of parental actions on their lives. As the legal proceedings unfold, the community holds its breath, hoping for justice and grappling with the loss of innocence. Nicole Jackson's case remains a poignant example of how trust can be shattered in the most unexpected ways. Case 5. Emma Kusak. The Luxor Hotel and Casino, with its iconic pyramid and glowing beam, stands as a beacon on the Las Vegas Strip. On June 28, 2023, the hotel buzzed with the usual energy: tourists, neon lights, and the promise of unforgettable nights. Among the visitors was 36-year-old Carly Gregg from California, who had arranged to meet 17-year-old Emma Kusak, a teenager he had connected with on the dating app Bumble. Their 2-month online exchange culminated in this rendezvous, setting the stage for an unexpected tragedy. The evening began with casual conversation and shared drinks. According to Kusak's account, after consuming 8 shots of vodka, Gregg revealed a handgun on the nightstand, mentioning his interest in hunting. They retired for the night around 1 a.m. However, Kusak later reported that Gregg woke her up around 3 a.m., complaining about her coughing. An argument ensued, and Kusak claimed she feared for her safety when he advanced toward her. In a panic, she grabbed the handgun and fired, fatally shooting Gregg in the head. She then stole his wallet, cell phones, keys, and his car before fleeing the scene. Hours after the incident, Kusak contacted the police, confessing to the shooting. She was arrested later that day. Initially charged with open murder, robbery, and grand theft of a motor vehicle, Kusak later pleaded guilty to second-degree murder with the use of a deadly weapon. In September 2024, she was sentenced to 11 to 27 years in prison and ordered to pay over $15,000 in restitution to Straoud's family. She will be eligible for parole in 2033. The unfortunate incidents at the Luxor Hotel illustrate the unpredictable dynamics of human connections, particularly those started on the internet. A random interaction blossomed into irreversible outcomes, emphasizing the intricacies of relationships and the risks that can be hidden within seemingly harmless meetings. Case 6. Leslie Garcia-Juarez. In the serene suburbs of Gwinnett County, Georgia, life unfolded like any other typical American neighborhood. Families enjoyed peaceful mornings, children played in parks, and the hum of daily routines filled the air. Among the residents was 16-year-old Leslie Garcia-Juarez, a teenager whose life seemed ordinary. Living in Lilburn, Georgia, Leslie was known to her community as a quiet, unassuming young woman, blending seamlessly into the backdrop of suburban life. But beneath the surface, tension simmered, and a tragic event would soon disrupt the tranquility of this community. On December 29, 2020, the calm of a Duluth apartment complex was shattered when 22-year-old Adolphe Mable was found with fatal gunshot wounds inside his residence on Satellite Boulevard. Despite immediate medical attention, Mable succumbed to his injuries. 2 days later, on December 31, 2020, Leslie Garcia-Juarez was arrested and charged with aggravated assault and felony murder in connection with Mable's death. Investigators believed the incident to be domestic-related, though specific details about the nature of their relationship were not publicly disclosed. As the investigation unfolded, authorities discovered that Leslie was already in custody at the Georgia Department of Juvenile Justice's Regional Youth Detention Center in Gainesville, Georgia, facing charges for a separate murder. In March 2021, she was charged with felony murder and aggravated assault in connection with the 2019 death of 19-year-old Oseo Montano in Norcross, Georgia. The discovery of Leslie's involvement in 2 separate homicides within a year raised questions about her background and the factors leading to such tragic outcomes. Given Leslie's age at the time of the crimes, she was charged as an adult in both cases. The legal proceedings for each case were complex, involving considerations of juvenile justice and adult criminal law. Details about the trials, including court dates, defense strategies, and prosecutorial arguments, were closely followed by the community and legal observers. The dual charges highlighted systemic issues within the juvenile justice system and sparked debates about appropriate sentencing for minors involved in serious crimes. As of August 2025, Leslie Garcia-Juarez remains incarcerated, though specific details about her sentencing and current status are not publicly available. Her case continues to be a point of discussion regarding the treatment of minors in the adult criminal justice system and the long-term impacts of early life trauma and exposure to violence. What began as a seemingly ordinary life in a quiet suburb ended in tragedy, leaving behind a community grappling with the aftermath. The case underscores the importance of early intervention, mental health support, and community engagement in preventing such incidents. As the legal system continues to address Leslie's cases, the broader conversation about juvenile justice and its implications remains ever relevant. Case 7. Meagan, Dakota Grunwald. On a quiet winter afternoon in Eagle Mountain, Utah, the serene landscape was shattered by an unthinkable act. 17-year-old Meagan Dakota Grunwald, an ordinary teenager, found herself entwined in a deadly crime spree that would forever alter her life and the lives of others. Raised in Draper, Utah, Grunwald was known for her love of animals and a budding relationship with 27-year-old Jose Angel Garcia-Juarez. What began as a teenage romance spiraled into a tragic series of events on January 30, 2014. That afternoon, Grunwald and Garcia-Juarez were parked along Highway 73 when Utah County Sheriff's Sergeant Corey Ride stopped to assist them. As Sergeant Ride approached, Garcia-Juarez opened fire from the back window of their white Toyota Tundra, fatally wounding the officer. Grunwald sped away, leading a harrowing chase through 2 counties. During the pursuit, Garcia-Juarez shot and seriously injured Deputy Greg Sherwood. The pair carjacked another vehicle in Nephi, continuing their flight until a final confrontation with law enforcement led to Garcia-Juarez's death. Grunwald was apprehended and later charged with multiple felonies, including aggravated murder. Grunwald's defense portrayed her as a victim of coercion, claiming she was threatened by Garcia-Juarez and acted out of fear for her life. However, prosecutors argued that her actions indicated complicity, suggesting she was motivated by love and loyalty to Garcia-Juarez. Evidence presented during the trial included testimonies about their relationship and Grunwald's continued support for Garcia-Juarez even after his death. In April 2015, Grunwald was found guilty of 11 charges, including aggravated murder and attempted aggravated murder. She was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. However, in 2021, the Utah Supreme Court ruled that she had been improperly convicted due to jury instruction errors, leading to a new trial. In June 2021, Grunwald accepted a plea deal, pleading guilty to 2 second-degree felony charges, manslaughter and assault against a peace officer. Judge Darrell McDade sentenced her to a maximum of 30 years in prison, with sentences to run consecutively. At that time, she had already served approximately 7 years. As of 2025, Meagan Grunwald remains incarcerated, serving her sentence for the role she played in the tragic events of January 30, 2014. Her case continues to be a subject of public interest, reflecting on the complexities of youthful decisions and the consequences that follow. The story of Meagan Dakota Grunwald shows how a single day can irreversibly change lives, the importance of choices, the influence of relationships, and the enduring impact of actions taken in moments of fear and confusion.
In my honest opinion, I agree with the court's decision in this case. Of course, all details remain alleged unless proven in court. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned. More cases are coming soon.